Mo Alsumidaie here with the clinical trial Vanguard. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here at the Veeva R&D and Quality Summit here in Copenhagen, and I'm here with the pleasure of Bernhard Seiser, who is the Vice President of Digital Data and IT at AOP Health. And we're going to talk about the Veeva Industry Platform. So welcome, Bernhard.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me here.
Pleasure. So, Bernhard, AOP Health serves patients in rare diseases and critical care who can't wait. What pushed you to standardize on one platform now rather than continue piecing various systems together?
One of the main reasons, or the main reason for us adopting the Industry Cloud was we needed to grow. And there we required scalability. And with a fragmented IT landscape, so where you need to establish all your integrations yourself and so on, or they are not even in place, you lose a lot of speed, so you're really inefficient. Hence, this is solved by the Industry Cloud, and that's one of the reasons why we adopted it.
Mm-hmm. And how many systems did AOP have running across clinical, quality, and commercial before consolidation, and how many do you have now?
That's a good question and difficult to answer in full transparency, because sometimes we didn't even have a system in place. So some of the processes were even paper-based. Now you, I think, will understand why we moved towards an Industry Cloud, because we wanted to modernize our ways of working. But as of now, so what we're going to do is we'll deploy 13 capabilities or applications across all the different vaults.
Mm-hmm. And are you able to talk about which systems, processes did not exist before implementing this initiative, and now you have? And what are the results of that? Like, have you seen improvements?
I can give you one example, because I think it also was one of the most critical to address. It was us having a paper-based approach partially, but then also through more legacy systems-driven setup for safety cases. And now with the Industry Cloud, we have the end-to-end case management solution in place, which helps a lot and is far more compliant.
Mm-hmm. And what factors would you say justified the investment in this initiative?
I think there were multiple factors, but it's difficult to quantify them more or less. Talking about the compliance again, how do you quantify this? You need to be compliant in our industry, so you cannot really put a value next to that. Of course, we did a thorough investigation around the total business case, so area by area, we evaluated more or less, does it have business impact, or does it at least have transformational potential? In all the cases when we deployed something to the cloud, it has.
Mm-hmm. And how long did the consolidation take from decision to first cloud in production? And what was the timeline, would you say, for all 4 clouds to be integrated?
So we started deriving a digital strategy, which is, in my opinion, really critical. So you have a strategic plan on how you want to move forward. That took some time to derive. So I think we took half a year to a year almost, understanding where we not need to be from a digital foundation perspective. But then we were rather quick in going from bringing in the decision from a C-level, so getting the approval, also getting the budget, and then moving towards the first implementation only took 2 months. But that said, we also had some risks that needed to be mitigated ASAP. So hence also the critical time plan.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to this type of integration.
Again, that brings me back to the digital strategy. You have a need to have a good understanding on how your business operates in that sense, not just at that time when you derive it, but where they want to be. So you need to look at the capabilities that you want to establish or evolve, not just in terms of, and that's the critical piece here, not just in terms of technology, but also in terms of the processes, the data they want to integrate. That's more or less the foundation that you require. And then it's about identifying a strong team, I think, and build a team around a program, because initiatives like this should not be seen as a rollout of individual applications, but should be done comprehensively through one well-governed program.
And what is also the experience from running this initiative?
My experience is very good. So far, I think we're progressing well. That said, we are running an ERP initiative in parallel. Running a similar initiative on top is a big burden for the organization, of course. But how I see it, that can be all achieved through the right partner in place. And I think we have the right partners in place who can help us make this journey a success.
A partner on the systems implementation side, in addition to internal partners.
You're totally right. So we see it even threefold. So we need the internal stakeholders, of course, and the full commitment on their behalf. You need a strong software supplier, or to even further go the next step, an implementation partner, and potentially somebody who has a broader business understanding who can help you here and there. Because we are not a big organization, so sometimes we need the help from externals on top.
And there's been a lot of talk about AI at this conference and AI implementation in clinical research. So when it comes to this topic, what are other CIOs, your colleagues, discussing, and what is your advice for them to implement AI in clinical trial workflows?
So luckily, I'm not in their shoes, but I sort of have conversations with them, and I know their pressure, the pressure they're under. Of course, they are asked by C-level, please deliver AI as quickly as possible. But I think they know exactly they cannot deliver on this promise if they don't have the right foundation in place. And this goes hand in hand with a solid IT infrastructure, application landscape, and well-structured data, because that's the foundation for AI. So I think this is the message I would recommend CIOs to give to the other CEOs. Like, you need to have a solid foundation in place in order to do AI right.
Bernhard Seiser from AOP Health, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thanks.